everyone, my name is Elizabeth, and we're going to be doing a lower body workout today. And for this workout, we're going to be using resistance bands. So we're going to need one resistance band that's not in a loop, and then we're also going to need another one that is in a loop, and or I just tied my other resistance band in a loop for this exercise. So we're going to start with a warm up. So we're going to start out with marching in place. We're going to get those arms moving too, just for a nice warm up, get our heart rate out. Stay here for a minute. Okay. We're gonna add some arm crossovers with this instead of just swinging our arms. So we're gonna bring our arms out to the side, and then we're gonna bring them across our body. And we're gonna try to alternate those arms on each one. If you wanted to increase the intensity of this, you could march a little bit faster. Okay. We're gonna stay here for another minute, and then we're gonna move on to some jumping jacks. Make sure to keep those arms nice and flat out beside you. Okay. We're going to move on to those jumping jacks in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So you could do some side steps, or you could also go up to a jumping jack. We're going to stay here for a couple seconds, and then we're going to start using those resistance bands. We're going to switch to some lateral steps with the resistance band in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to grab the resistance band. It's not in a loop. I'm going to bring it out in front of you. And step approximately in the middle. You're going to cross it in front of your side body. And then you're going to take a step to the side. Step to the side. And then work your way back to center. You could also, if you want to skip the resistance band on this, you could also do side steps without the band. After this, we're going to do an ab exercise with the resistance band. We're going to switch to that ab exercise in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to undo that cross in the center there. And then we're going to grab the resistance band down a little bit lower, add a little bit more tension, and then we're going to lean to the side, and then alternate to the other side. This is working your side body here. Make sure to take a couple deep breaths here. After this, we're going to switch to some squats. Again, if you want to add a little bit more resistance, you could grab that band down a little bit further. We're going to switch to squats in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to stand with our feet about shoulder width apart, and then keep holding that resistance band in about the same spot. And then you're going to go down in a squat. Slowly lower, raise up. Make sure that those knees stay behind those toes. Make sure to keep good posture. And then slowly raise up. You could also do a 45-degree squat, or you could go down a little bit deeper and do a 90-degree squat. And after this, we're going to switch to another marching exercise, except for this time with the resistance band. Try to do another 2 of these, and then we'll switch to that other exercise. Okay, so we're gonna release this long resistance band, and then we're gonna grab the resistance band that's in the loop. So you're gonna take that loop, step in, and then you're just gonna march in place. So you're gonna bring those knees up nice and slow. Make sure to take a couple deep breaths here. You can also grab a little bit heavier of a resistance band if you have one for the loop. And after this, we're going to go into some side lunges. We're going to switch to those side lunges in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to set aside that resistance band, and we're going to stand with our feet about shoulder width apart. And we're going to take a big step to the side and lower down on a squat. And step back to the middle and go to the opposite side, lower down on a squat. Make sure to keep those knees behind those toes. Step back to the center. Deep breaths here. And if you wanted to increase the intensity of this, you could go a little bit lower. You could also take a smaller side step. And after this, we're going to switch to some calf raises. We're going to switch to those calf raises in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So back to the center. We're going to raise up in a calf raise. If you wanted to increase the intensity of this, you could, if you had like a block or your mat was a little bit up off the ground, you could put your toes on the edge of the block and or the edge of the mat and increase that range of motion a little. Make sure to keep breathing here. After this, we're going to switch to some lunges. Okay, we're going to switch to those lunges in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to step back onto that mat. And we're going to step forward in a lunge. Make sure to keep that knee behind those toes. Lower down on that lunge. And then switch to the other side. Take a couple deep breaths here. Make sure to keep your chest lifted as well. Breathe in. And after this, we're going to switch down to the mat and we're going to do some donkey kicks. We're going to switch down to that mat in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Mat lunge. We're going to go into a tabletop position. Keep that back nice and flat. And then you're going to extend your leg out in a donkey kick. We're going to alternate those. I'm going to stay here for a couple seconds. You can also extend a little bit more if you'd like to increase the intensity of that. After this, we're going to switch to some fire hydrant exercises with the resistance band with the loop. We're going to switch to those fire hydrants in 3, 2, and 1. Grab that resistance band with the loop. And put it around your lower leg. Then go back to that tabletop position. And you can also do this without the resistance band, but you're going to extend out to the side. Fire hydrant. Make sure to keep your back flat through this exercise. Make sure to keep breathing. Make sure to keep that resistance band and lower your leg too. And your joints. After this, we're going to switch to a plank. Take a couple deep breaths here, and then we'll switch to that plank in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So you can take the resistance band off for this if you would like. Then we're going to lower down into a plank. So you could either do the plank on your knees and on your forearms. You could extend up off your knees, or you could also do a full plank. We're going to stay here for another 30 seconds. So choose whichever exercise you'd like to do best. And then after this, we're going to switch to a bird dog. We're going to switch to that bird dog in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Raise back up to a tabletop position. And you could also add the resistance band to this exercise if you would like. You would use the resistance band without the loop. You would put it around one of your feet. You would grab it with both of your hands. Go back to that tabletop position. And then you would extend it out. This exercise you would just do on one side and you would alternate to the other side. You also don't have to have the resistance band. You could also add that crunch in the middle if you would like. Increase that intensity. If you're using that resistance band, I'm going to switch to the other side. Stand out with the alternating hand and foot. Come to the middle and crunch. After this, we're going to go to our side and do some leg raises. We're going to switch to our side in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Use that resistance band. And if you wanted to increase the intensity on this exercise, you could use your band with a loop. And again, you would put it around your lower leg, go to your side, and then extend up. You also don't have to have that resistance band. And if you wanted to increase the intensity of this, you could go a little bit higher. Make sure to keep that movement slow and controlled. After this, we're going to switch to some leg raises with our other leg. Make sure to keep that leg nice and straight. We're going to switch to the other leg in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So you're going to take your lower leg and you're going to raise it up in front and slowly lower down. Here. Then after this, we're going to switch to the other side and do the same 2 exercises to even it out. We're going to flip to the other side in 3, 2, and 1. So again, start with that top leg. Raise it up slowly. Nice and straight. Slowly lower down. We're going to stay here for a couple more seconds and then we're going to switch to the inside leg or the lower leg. We're going to switch to that lower leg in 3, 2, 1. Slowly raise up. Back down. And after this, we're going to switch to some Russian twists. We're going to switch to those Russian twists in 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to go back to seated position. And then you're going to sit with your knees about 90-degree angles. And then you're going to twist to the side. Full deep breaths here. You could also raise up your legs to increase that intensity. Make sure to keep a nice flat back though. Slow control. After this, we're going to go down to the mat and we're going to do some crunches. We're going to switch to those crunches in 3, 2, and 1. Down to the mat, and then we're going to cross our arms over our chest, raise up in a crunch. Slowly lower back down. And after this, we're going to switch to some glute bridges. Take a couple deep breaths here. We're going to switch to those glute bridges in 3, 2, and 1. So you can do these without the resistance band, and you just have your hands on your side and slowly raise up your hips towards the ceiling. Or you could also grab your resistance band that's not in the loop and put it over your hips and add a little bit more resistance to the exercise. Slowly lower back down. After this, we're going to switch to a single leg raise. Couple deep breaths here. We're going to switch to that single leg raise in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So you're going to keep one leg at a 90-degree angle. Also, don't need the resistance band for this exercise, or you can also keep it. And then you're going to raise one leg up to the ceiling and slowly lower back down. Keep your hands by your side, keep that back nice and flat on the mat. Slowly lower down. And after this, we're going to switch to some bicycle crunches. We're going to switch to this, we're going to switch to the opposite leg in 3, 2, 1. So you're going to put the other leg at a 90-degree angle, extend your opposite leg out, raise up to the ceiling. Make sure to keep your leg nice and straight. And slowly lower back. Okay. We're going to switch to those bicycle crunches in 3, 2, and 1. So you're going to stay down with your back down on the mat, and then you're going to take your right elbow and bring it up to your left knee in a bicycle crunch and alternate. Take a couple deep breaths here. If you wanted to increase the intensity on this, you also don't have to come all the way back down to the mat. And you can also increase the speed. We're going to stay here for another 5 seconds, and then we're going to start on a cool down. Try to get a couple more in, and then we're going to switch to a figure 4 stretch. In 3, 2, and 1. So release your arms down next to you on the side of the mat, and then you're going to bring your right leg over your left leg, and then you're going to loop your hands And then pull your leg closer to your body to increase that stretch. Take a couple deep breaths here. We're going to switch the stretch in 3, 2, 1. Squeeze the stretch. And you're going to take your left leg, put it over your right leg. And again, if you wanted to increase that stretch, just apply a little bit more pressure, but make sure it's only to the point of a stretch. Not painful. After this, we're going to switch to a hamstring stretch. So we're going to slowly lower up, or sit up. And then you're going to extend your right leg up in front of you. Bring your left leg towards your thigh. And then you're going to slowly walk your hands towards your ankle. Take a couple deep breaths here. If you wanted to stretch a little deeper, try to reach for your toes. We're going to switch to the other side in 3, 2, and 1. So extend your left leg out in front of you. Bring your right leg close. And slowly walk your hands towards your feet. Take a couple deep breaths here. We're going to switch to a butterfly stretch in 3, 2, and 1. So you're going to bring your soles of your feet together. Put your knees out wide. And let your knees slowly lower down to the mat. Make sure to keep a nice flat back here. Engage that core. You also wanted to roll out your shoulders a little. And after this, we're going to switch to a downward dog. Switch to that downward dog in 3, 2, 1. So you're going to go on the mat in a tabletop position. And then you're going to slowly press up to it on your elbow. You can stretch out your legs a little. Walk out that downward dog. Take a couple deep breaths here. And after this, we're going to switch to an upward dog. We're going to switch to an upward dog in 3, 2, and 1. So you're going to go back to a tabletop position. Slowly go up to an upward dog. You can also go down to your forearms if you would like. A couple deep breaths. And after this, we're going to go into a pigeon stretch. We're going to go into that pigeon in 3, 2, 1. So you're going to press up, and then you're going to take your right leg, bring it out in front of you. Bring your right knee like it's going to go to your right wrist. And if you wanted to increase that stretch a little, you could try to bring your chin parallel to the front of the mat. Also sit a little deeper. That's here. And then we're going to switch to the other side in 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to release our right leg. Switch to the left. And after this, we're going to slowly come up to standing, and then we're going to do a quad stretch. Take a couple last deep breaths here. We're going to come up to standing in 3, 2, and 1. Slowly raise up. Okay, and we're going to switch to a quad stretch. So you're going to bring your right leg up, grab it with your right hand. And then you're going to try to keep that nice and parallel. deep breaths. Then we're going to switch to the other side in 3, 2, and you can also extend your arm out if you want a little more balance, and or grab a chair or a wall or something. After this, we're going to switch to our last stretch, which is the side body stretch. We're going to switch to that stretch in 3, 2, and 1. So you're going to bring your right hand over your body, and then you're going to go with your left and lean to the side. Also increase that stretch a little by going a little deeper. We're going to switch to the other side in 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Well, good job, everyone. Thank you.